Alright, let's talk about Harvard. Yes, Harvard. The name itself conjures images of prestige and academic excellence. The academic Everest, the place your parents brag about if you so much as visit the gift shop. For centuries, it's been the gold standard of higher education, a beacon of knowledge attracting the brightest minds from across the globe. Churning out presidents, Nobel laureates, and apparently a surprising number of people who know how to run a one-party state. There's a rumor, a cheeky nickname floating around, whispered in online forums and academic circles. Not about secret societies or ancient riddles, but something far more geopolitically spicy. Online critics have started calling Harvard something new, the party school of the West. And by party, they don't mean toga parties, unless those togas come with a 5-year plan. They mean the Communist Party. Yes, party. Now before you imagine Xi Jinping doing a keg stand in Harvard Yard, let's clarify. This nickname points to the significant number of Chinese Communist Party officials who have matriculated through Harvard's hallowed halls. It's a fascinating intersection of elite American academia and the leadership of a global superpower that, let's be honest, America has a relationship with. So, is Harvard secretly a finishing school for the CCP elite? Is it a place where future leaders of the People's Republic come to learn? What, exactly? Why Harvard? Is it the prestige, the connections, or maybe just the clam chowder? When one of the world's top universities gets a nickname like that, you know there's a story. A story that begs to be told, explored, and perhaps even a little bit dissected, and probably a slightly uncomfortable one at that. Why Harvard? What is it about this prestigious institution that holds such a lure? Why are Chinese officials, often high-ranking members of the Communist Party, so keen on a Harvard education? What's the driving force behind this pursuit of knowledge and credentials from an American Ivy League school? It's not for interpretive dance, that's for sure. This isn't about exploring artistic expression. The main draw is the John F. Kennedy School of Government. A school named after an American president, a symbol of democratic ideals, now a popular training ground for officials of a communist state. A seemingly paradoxical pairing, isn't it? The Kennedy School offers executive education courses and master's degrees in public policy and administration, concentrated high-level programs for mid-career professionals. Seasoned individuals looking to refine their skills and broaden their perspectives. It's like a boot camp for bureaucrats, but with better catering and more tweed. A touch of academic flair, if you will. They come to learn about governance and leadership from a Western perspective. An opportunity to analyze and understand different approaches to governing. But let's be real. A Harvard certificate is a status symbol, a golden ticket, a mark of distinction that opens doors. It signals worldliness and an understanding of how the West operates. Valuable, back in Beijing. A credential that can enhance one's career and influence. Plus, the networking is immense, not just with Harvard faculty, but with global leaders passing through. A chance to connect with influential figures from around the globe. Harvard has been welcoming with programs tailor-made for these officials, specific curricula designed to address their unique needs and challenges. They're seen as a way to foster understanding, build bridges, and let's not forget, bring in substantial tuition fees. A significant revenue stream for the university. It's a symbiotic relationship, even if the dance partners occasionally step on each other's toes. Despite the underlying tensions and differing ideologies, pragmatism rules the day. Practical considerations often outweigh ideological differences, and that's why the party keeps coming back. The benefits, both tangible and intangible, are simply too significant to ignore. Let's talk numbers. Just how many Chinese officials have graced Harvard's halls? Exact figures are elusive, but we're talking thousands over the past few decades. Many have attended specialized executive education programs at the Kennedy School, some designed specifically for Chinese officials. We're talking mayors, provincial governors, heads of state-owned enterprises, and high-ranking party members. These aren't junior paper pushers. These are influential figures. While top Politburo members rarely enroll while in office, many have Harvard exposure earlier in their careers, or their children do. Xi Jinping's daughter famously attended Harvard as an undergraduate, under an assumed name. The scale is such that in a room of high-ranking Chinese officials, a significant portion will have Harvard on their CVs. It's become a mainstream pathway for ambitious Chinese officials seeking an international edge. So, let's circle back to that rather cheeky nickname that's been making the rounds. Party School of the West. It bubbled up organically from the depths of Chinese social media, a term that's gained considerable traction. It's part ironic boast, a tongue-in-cheek way of looking at things, and part playful jab, a good-natured ribbing aimed at the West. Critics in the West, however, tend to use it with far less playfulness, adopting a more serious tone, highlighting and underscoring what they perceive as a potentially risky policy, fraught with unseen dangers. The concern centers around educating potential adversaries, those who might one day challenge the established order. The term pointedly references the CCP's own Central Party School, a key institution for training its officials. Located in the heart of Beijing, it draws a rather loaded comparison, inviting a deeper look at the implications. The humor, of course, comes from the inherent cognitive dissonance, the jarring contrast that strikes you. Harvard, that bastion of liberal arts education, is also running extension courses, offering educational opportunities for the very leaders of a Leninist state. It's a nickname that sticks, lingering in the mind precisely because it's so catchy and memorable, and carries with it a bit of a scandalous edge, while also encapsulating a complex reality, a nuanced situation, all neatly packaged in a shareable soundbite. And let's be absolutely clear about this, the party element in Party School has absolutely nothing to do with beer pong or keg stands. It's all about party. The one with a capital P, the political entity, and its unwavering grip on the lives of 1.4 billion people. So, the nickname is essentially a constant, slightly mocking reminder, a persistent echo of this rather unusual and complex relationship. It inevitably makes people ask, is Harvard perhaps being played as a pawn in a larger game, or is it in fact playing a very long, subtle, and carefully calculated game entirely of its own design? Not everyone in the U.S. is thrilled about this academic exchange. For some in Washington and the intelligence community, it's less kumbaya and more Houston, we have a problem. The concerns espionage, intellectual property theft, and national security risks. If thousands of officials from a strategic competitor cycle through your top universities, some may be tasked with more than just hitting the books. They might seek sensitive research, cultivate contacts, or gain insights into American policymaking. Real incidents, like the Charles Lieber case, fuel these fears, showing how academic programs can be exploited. The open environment of a university, designed for sharing ideas, can become a vulnerability. American officials worry that sensitive technologies or strategic thinking could flow back to China. The challenge: how do you maintain academic openness while safeguarding national secrets? So, what does Harvard say? No, they're not putting up "Welcome Future Comrades" banners, but they do have a defense. Their main argument: academic exchange fosters mutual understanding. Shutting doors to officials from countries like China, they argue, would breed ignorance and miscalculation. Harvard sees itself as a global university with a mission that extends beyond national borders. Educating future leaders from around the world, including China, is part of that mission. Exposing officials to Western ideas and governance can have a moderating influence, or at least help them understand the West. The curriculum is about public administration and policy analysis, not indoctrination. Harvard argues a few weeks in Cambridge won't change a CCP official's ideology, but it might give them new perspectives and contacts. These exchanges are also vital for American academics and students, providing insights into China. It's a two-way street, they say, though the revenue doesn't hurt. Harvard prefers to focus on the loftier goals of global understanding. So here we are. Should American universities like Harvard keep training officials from countries like China, especially with tensions high? Is it a brilliant exercise in soft power, or a dangerously naive policy that risks empowering a strategic competitor? Proponents say closing these doors is short-sighted. Dialogue, even with adversaries, is crucial. Exposing future leaders to different ideas is better than letting them operate in an echo chamber. If America doesn't educate them, someone else will, perhaps with fewer democratic values. Critics ask if the benefits outweigh the risks. Are we sharpening the tools of our rivals? The Party School of the West nickname reflects genuine unease. Ultimately, it's a high-stakes gamble. Universities caught between ideals of openness and national security. The future? More scrutiny, more restrictions, or a belief in the power of education? Maybe the answer is a careful balance, with transparency and safeguards. The debate, like a tough seminar, continues. What do you think?